Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Welcome you all for this new series on the class on Upadesamrta. So Upadesamrta means actually Upadesam means in English and in Sanskrit and also in Tamil. Upadesam means instruction. What kind of instruction? Upadesam means actually spiritual instruction. That is why that's what is called Upadesam. So Amrita, why is Amrita means? That means nectar. Nectar. So this is a nectar of instruction. Today we are doing only the introduction of this great scripture. It has actually 11 slokas only, but these 11 slokas are such a great potent composition, and that is what really makes this as a very, very special scripture for us. Okay, so now being said, then let us get into some of the background. So again, as I said, today we will be talking about introduction, mainly backgrounds about these scriptures, because that is very important. So you all may, at least most of you have heard about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not known to everyone, but he is actually the Kali Yuga avatar, because in the scriptures it is said that in the Kali Yuga, the color of the Lord who will be coming as avatar will be golden yellow. So that is what exactly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard, and then he is none other than Krishna and Radharani combined. Okay, so why he really came here? He came here because for inaugurating the Nama Sankirtan movement. Nama Sankirtan means chanting and also singing the glory, the holy names of Krishna. So this is the unique Yuga Dharma of this Kali Yuga. So now what he did was he also had 6 Goswamis. You are actually seeing that picture. And out of these 6 Goswamis, Sri Rupa Goswami is the foremost Acharya. Very important Acharya in our line is Sri Rupa Goswami. And that is why even we are called as Rupanuga. Rupanuga, because those are in the line of Rupa Goswami. Now, in the temple, you all know that how do we really glorify these 6 Goswamis? It starts with Rupa only. So we say Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Sat Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. That's what we say. So here we see that Rupa Goswami is the very first. And now, but even though Sri Rupa Goswami wrote this book called Sri Upadesamrta, the original instructions actually came from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Rupa Goswami was one of those who really heard this Upadesamrta from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he wrote it. So Rupa Goswami was the one, just he really wrote it. But where actually these instructions originally really came from? This came from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so Rupa Goswami is also called as Manobishtam of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what is Manobishtam means? Manobishtam means one who can understand the heart, the mind of somebody. So in this case, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's unique, like whatever he thought, immediately Rupa Goswami will understand. So that was what such a very big connection actually. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed, and Srila Rupa Goswami nicely wrote it. Okay, that is how we do that. So actually all the Bhakti Shastras brought out by 6 Goswamis were all actually instructed and also was encouraged by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. So and all these 6 Goswamis, they were all with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and where he was instructing all the devotees about various topics about Krishna Bhakti, and that was how they all were actually brought up to that level, and then they became the acharyas. So now, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? You all know. Sri Radha and Sri Krishna combined is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Yuga avatar for this Danya Kali. So why it is called Danya Kali? Any Kali Yuga that comes after the Dwapar Yuga, where Lord Krishna himself descends down as Swayam Bhagavan. That particular Kali Yuga is called Danya Kali. Why it is called Danya Kali? Because in Danya Kali is the only Kali Yuga where one can actually attain liberation, or one will be liberated from this material, from our birth, death, and all those miseries of this life in Danya Kali very easily by how? By chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna, and also doing Nama Sankirtans of Lord Krishna's names. And so this Kali Yuga that we are right now in is called Danya Kali. Okay, but again, if you really see that Lord Krishna as Swayam Bhagavan does not come all the time. So he comes only once in a day of Brahma. So how often Lord Krishna comes to this world, which is basically created by Lord Brahma? 4.32 plus 4.32 billion years. So this is the reason that people may be thinking, saying, why we are not finding so many artifacts of like Krishna, whereas we find Shivalinga here, Ganesha there, and this god, that god, all kinds of things are really being discovered all over the world in various times here. So why then Krishna's anything related to Krishna is not actually found in other places other than in Bharata Bhumi? The answer is very simple, because he comes only to 4.32 plus 4.32 billion years, only once. So by the time what happened, the earth will go through so many changes, and all the things are buried deeper and deeper and deeper, and we cannot really find any trace of that. So Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Krishna in the mood of Radharani, came to this world for several reasons. And some of them include to inaugurate the Kali Yuga Dharma. What is the Kali Yuga Dharma of this Kali Yuga? Is Nama Sankirtan and chanting the holy names of Lord Hari. And two, to taste the mellow of Radharani and gopis towards Lord Krishna. Because when they really see Krishna, they really become so ecstatic, and it becomes so high, and Lord Krishna himself could not understand how nicely they were all actually feeling. So that mellow, the Lord Krishna wanted to taste. So that is the reason he brought the mood. He inherited the mood of Srimati Radharani, and Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and because of his mood is of Srimati Radharani, he also came with the same color of Srimati Radharani. That is why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has the golden color, that of Srimati Radharani. So now 3, to bring Bhakti Sastras on Krishna Bhakti. Because the thing was, again, in this Danya Kali is where this Nama Sankirtan and chanting the holy names are the only means to really achieve liberation. So he really wants to bring all the relevant Bhakti Sastras, and that was also another reason for his descension. And the 4th reason, of course there are many, to show as an example as how a Krishna devotee should be. Okay, this is very important for us to understand. That is the reason of the whole, this particular Upadesamrta is having that particular, the goal of taking changing ones into a devotee. Okay, so these are, there are other reasons as well, as I said. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually a hidden avatar. Why he is hidden? Unlike other avatars, where they will all immediately they will be actually everybody will be knowing that, oh, they are all the lords, right? Lord Chaitanya, for example, Narsimhadev comes, fury, and everybody, yes, they all know this is lords. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to come as a hidden avatar. Hidden avatar means he does not want to tell anyone that he is Lord Krishna himself. Why is that? Because he wanted to come and then behave as a devotee. How a devotee will actually behave. So, for example, Radharani is the highest, topmost devotee of Lord Krishna. So he has to come into that mood where a devotee, as Radharani, of course, the supermost, will have the affection to Lord Krishna. Okay, so that is the main reason that he actually comes as hidden avatar. But there are about 42 or something, 43 scriptures where all predicted this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descension. Okay, that is another big chapter altogether. All the Puranas and all the scriptures, so many scriptures, they're all written as when the Lord Krishna will come as this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all the details are there. So many shaskras are there. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why I am talking about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the introduction? Because he is our first worshipable deity here, in order to really get into Upadesamrta, because he was the one who really gave to us. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose Jagannath Puri as the main residence. So he also came to South India, and in fact traveled throughout India. When he came to South India, he visited Kumari Bhagavati Amman temple also, which is there in Kanyakumari, and Sri Rangam and Adikeshava temple and all those. So when he was in Adikeshava temple, which we used to visit every time we really go to India, and that Adikeshava temple was a place where the Brahma Samhita fifth chapter was found. So this Adikeshava temple is in Thiruvattar, which is actually the border, but it is in Tamil Nadu. And this Thiruvattar is very near to our temple in Kanyakumari also. And every time we visit India, we go to this temple and read the Brahma Samhita in front of Lord Keshava, Adikeshava. Lord Adikeshava is none other than Lord Krishna. So that is why Adi Keshava, this Adi. So that is why Brahma Samhita always starts with the verse, 5th chapter is Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vikraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the Adi. So this Adi Keshava temple is the place where this Brahma Samhita was actually brought in, and it has a very wonderful story there also. And there is actually one, this very old, he is actually a pujari. Every time we go, of course, we really happen to meet him also. So he actually talks to us, and he is a Haribol, and then he is a wonderful devotee. And he was, in this temple for a long time. He has actually really heard so many things about who was that particular Pandit who was actually reading the Brahma Samhita every day in the temple. This 5th chapter, of course. Okay, so many things actually happened, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, he actually brought this Brahma Samhita, and basically he really copied that, and then that was how we got. So he is the one who really gave, actually indirectly or directly giving all the scriptures for us. So our Upadesamrta has the very root from Jagannath Puri, where he was actually staying for many years. So this Jagannath Puri temple, this place does not actually belong to this material world. Okay, we may see that it is actually here, but what the Shastras are telling is that no, this Jagannath Puri does not belong to this material world. It has eternal existence. When this earth is annihilated, even then, this Jagannath Puri, this Puri will be always there. It cannot be destroyed. And Jagannath Puri actually is also very famous for Radha Yatra, as you all know. And actually, the fame, the reason why this Ratha Yatra became so popular and so famous was because of the mercy from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he actually, when he was residing here, he was actually directly involved in this whole celebration of this Ratha Yatra in various ways. Wonderful pastime. They're all there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Jagannath Puri, Lord Chaitanya was staying in a very small room called Gambira. This Gambira, if you really go, you won't believe. It's probably about few feet here and there. It is very, very small room. And it was actually part of the house of the head priest. And that was where he was actually staying there anyway. So this all well preserved. Even now, if you go to Jagannath Puri, you can see the original, the sandal that, basically her, this foot, Paduga owned by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So hopefully when we really go to these what the Navadvi Parikrama, that time we always used to go via Jagannath Puri temple and then stay a few days there and visiting all the places and then proceed to Navadvi temple. So we'll see how we can actually make that happen as we go. Anyway, while staying in Jagannath Puri, Lord Chaitanya used to go for walking near the seashore, of course. And when he was actually going for walking, and so many things happen because he really sees so many things, so many visions actually he really goes through. And one day, when he was walking near the seashore of Jagannath Puri temple, he was singing a sloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. That Srimad Bhagavatam sloka was very special, and it was about Giri Govardhan. Handayam matrirabala haridasa varyo yatra Krishna charana swarasha pramodaham manam danoti sagago ganayostayoryat Paniyam Suyavasa Kantara Kandamulai. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 21st chapter and 18th verse he was singing. Of all the devotees, this Govardhana hill is the best. Oh my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram and their calves and their cows and cowherd friends with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass for the cows and calves, and fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers. This hill offers so much respect to the Lord, being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram. Govardhana hill appears very jubilant, very bright, wonderful. Wow! So he was singing and singing and singing. All of a sudden, Mahaprabhu saw the sand dune. Sand dune means sand theory. The sand dune, not as it was really showing to everybody else. And he saw in that place the very Govardhan hill. And by seeing the Govardhan hill, because it's all coming, he ran towards that dune. Dune means theory. The dune to meet Krishna with Gopas and Gopis. He was so, he himself is Krishna. He is Krishna himself. But he was playing the role of a devotee. How a devotee will have affection to Krishna? So that was the reason he came to this world, to show us, to educate us, by giving all the sastras and by living as an example as how a pure devotee should be living in Krishna consciousness. And he was running towards that Giri Govardhan, and his personal associate was Govinda. Govinda immediately got this, saying, why all of a sudden Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is running like crazy? So he started running, but nobody could come near. Swarupa Damodara ran, Jagadananda ran. So Jagadananda was the one who really wrote the Prema Vivarta, which also we will be actually hearing from next week onwards. Gadadhar Pandit, Ramai, but no one could catch Mahaprabhu because he was running so fast. All of a sudden, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got Ashta Satvika Bhava. Ashta Satvika Bhava means Stamba, Sweda, Romancha, Swarat Banga, Vepathu, Vaivarnya, Ashru, and Pralaya. These are the 8 kinds of, because Ashta means 8. 8 kinds of devotional feelings. The things will manifest in the body of a devotee who really gets into that mood. Tears were pouring from his eyes. So what a Stamba means, just like that, standing still. Sweda means, the Romanja means, even the hairs will stand on end. And, not able to really talk anything. And perspiring, sweating. And Ashru, tears of, it will be falling from, coming from the eyes. And Pralaya means completely, totally, like a devastation. Basically, he will lose the consciousness. That is Ashta Satvika Bhava. The high class devotees, only they can really get into this Bhava. So, tears were pouring from his eyes. Duhi netre, Duhi means two. Two netre means eyes. Duhi netre bari ashru. I told you ashru is one of ashru. Ashru vahaya apara. Samudre mililayena Ganga Yamuna Dhara. Like Ganga, Yamuna, how they will be all will be coming, like the water will be coming, flooding. Like that it was coming from his eyes. His entire body faded to the color of a white conch shell. Okay, this is called Vaivarnya. The Varnam will become like the change. It will change the color. So, and he began to quiver like waves of the ocean. So how is that? Vaivarnya Sangha Praya Sweta Haila Anga Tabe Kamba Utte Yena Samutre Dharanga. In the Samutra, how the waves are really coming and shaking. Like that, his body was also shaking. And finally he fell unconscious, like as you see. This happens many times in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he gets into the mood of Radharani, right? He came with the mood. And this is what happens. So he cannot withstand. In fact, our material body cannot withstand the spiritual emotions about Krishna consciousness. That is why it falls. Ashtakaliya, this Ashta Satvika Bhava comes, after that he will faint. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu falls down, and his limbs will be all in loose. And all the joints will be all so loosened. There will be 3 inches, like the skins will be just like hanging on, just holding the bones. Like that he comes even. Yes. And Paramananda Puri and Pramananda and Bharati also ran toward the beach. And Bhagavan Acharya, who was another one who was lame, he could not walk. He was also walking, trying to follow the Mahaprabhu slowly. So Upadesamrta and all the devotees finally assembled in around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he was lying fainted. And what will the devotees do? They immediately started. Sabharma means Nama Sankirtan. Nama Sankirtan and the loud Kirtana. And not only that, some devotees really brought some water, cold water from the Samudra, from the ocean, and they were pouring on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nothing was working. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just there. Then They thought, maybe we should increase the loudness of the chanting, the Sankirtana. Actually, Sankirtana. So they were actually just performing loud Sankirtana again. And when they really went and how they rode like amazingly high volume. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just woke up. All of a sudden he really came out and he stood up and he was standing, Haribol, 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 Haribol. This is why in our prayers we say Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Because Mahaprabhu started like this. Haribol, Haribol. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not happy also, happy. And he was lamenting. He was crying. Oh, why did you bring me back? Who has brought me here from Govardhan Hill? I was in Govardhan Hill and seeing Sri Krishna's pastimes there. But now I cannot see them. Alas, ayyaho, I cannot see it now. Today, I went from here to Govardhan Hill to find out if Krishna was tending his cows there. I saw Sri Krishna climbing Govardhana Hill and playing on his flute, surrounded by all the sides. All the sides were cows. And that time, Krishna was sweetly playing on his flute called Venunanda. Krishna has so many kinds of flutes. And one of them is Venunanda. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling, oh, when I was there, he was playing on Venunanda and hearing the wonderful vibration of Krishna's flute. Radharani and all her gopi friends, they all came there running to meet Krishna. It was a wonderful scene. I was with them. Oh, I was with them. How can I describe it for you? Alas, why did I return here? Why did I return to this world? Why did you bring me here again? You should have left me and gone. Why did you bring me here? Actually, this is how a pure devotee will actually feel. A pure devotee never wants to live in this world. He does not want to possess anything. He cries and cries and cries. He throws all the families out. He throws whatever the possession he has, that's also he throws out. Because nothing in the entire, all the three worlds can compare that spiritual, that ecstasy that the pure devotee should feel. He does not want anything. So he was always waiting for leaving this world. Yes. It is probably completely contrary to the common people. Common people do not want to die. They think that I am going to live here forever. And when even something comes, they cry, oh no, I don't want to die. Okay, take this medicine, that medicine, I want to stick around here. They want to live here forever. This is the difference between a pure devotee and the ordinary human being. Actually, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after accomplishing his mission, all his missions, he left this world by entering into the deity called Tota Gopinath. That's also in Jagannath Puri. If you go, I can show you. But what was the age that when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left his body in the sun, he did not leave. What happened was he went and ran into the deity of Tota Gopinath and merged there. That's it. But how old he was? He was only 48 years old. But what do we think? We want to live for 100 years. This is our goal. So he did not even be there for half of that. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued Krishna. And all the gopis were very nicely dressed. They looked so beautiful and were with Krishna. And they were entering into a beautiful cave in Giri Govardhan. I also followed them. And when Krishna and Srimati Radhika entered into the cave together, the surrounding gopis asked me to pick some flowers for the divine couple. Radha lana Krishna pravesila kandarate Sagi ganakahe more pula utaite. What does it say? They asked me to pick flowers. And one gopi was saying, go and then pick flowers quickly. Arey, he is Krishna himself. But he is now appearing as a gopi there. Why gopi? Because Radharani is a gopi. So, yes, go and then pick. Pick some flowers quickly for them. But that time, you all made such a loud sound, which brought me back from there to this place. Why have you brought me here? Why have you brought me here? Causing me unnecessary pain. I had a chance to see Krishna's pastimes, but now I am not able to see that. So saying this, Mahaprabhu wept. And tears were rolling down from his eyes. And seeing the pitiable condition of Mahaprabhu, all the surrounded Vaishnavas, disciples, everybody also started to cry. Actually, pure devotees can enter into the pastimes of the Lord. It is possible. It is possible. Actually, there are three ways one can see or communicate with the Lord. The lowest common factor, lowest way is by dreams. You know, he can appear in dreams, like Gurudeva appear in dreams or anyone, so like that. So dream is one of them. And second way is Spurti. What is Spurti? Spurti means all of a sudden you are seeing the Lord right there standing, but not in full vision. So you will be in the off consciousness. 50% awake, 50% sleeping, like that. This kind of, okay? This Spurti is very, very famous. Yes, so, you know, high devotees, when you really chant so much around and you have a guru, and you have initiated properly with the proper guru, you will be going through all these things. It will happen. It will bound to happen. Surely that will happen. And the third one is directly entering into the pastime of the Lord and directly with Him. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is really going through. Why he is going through? He is telling us, this is how, as a pure devotee, should be able to enter into the pastime of Lord Krishna. These pastimes, which really we happen to have that 5,000 years ago. These 5,000 years ago, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna himself came down. But this Leela, is it that only that time he performed Leela and then he did not perform Leela before or after? No. These Leelas are going on all the times in all the planetary systems. All the planetary systems. So now on this earth, Bhuma Devi, that his pastime, just close the screen. That's all it is. So pastime is happening. So when he appears, that screen just opens. And we have a way of looking and hearing. Of course, there were so many wonderful jivas. They were all their associates. Everybody could really be part of the Leela. And even those rascals like Duryodhana and all the enemies, they could also even see. But what they saw is differently. Because remember, when Krishna comes, different people, they see it differently. You know, when he really appeared in the wrestling arena in Madura, different people really saw him in different ways. So anyway, these leelas are happening in all the Brahmandas, all the time going on. But he chooses one day of that Brahma, of that Brahmanda, he will go there. So now he came here 5,000 years ago as Swayam Bhagavan. And now when is he going to come next time to this Brahmanda, our Brahmanda? You have to wait for 4.32 plus 4.32, that is 8.64 billion years. That many years we have to wait for Lord, that's Swayam Bhagavan to come again. And the following, that will be one Dwapar Yuga, 27 Manus, there is something going on there, a lot of calculation there. Anyway, he is a Lexi. And in that particular Dwapar Yuga, Swayam Bhagavan comes, along with Gopas and Gopis, everybody. Then the following Kali Yuga will be called Dhanya Kali, and that is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu follows. So, the ways, yes, depending on how high your devotion is. You have surrendered to a guru. You have surrendered, and then you are chanting very regularly, because you may be chanting, but without a guru, that chanting is like a dummy bullet only. That's what Shastra says. In the Hollywood movies in US, right, California, right, they shoot bullets, tom, so many shooting will be going on, but they only make sound and some fire. That's all, nothing. It doesn't hit any target. So if you chant, yes, you will get liberation. That's no problem at all. But the goal, which is actually prema bhakti, can be obtained only when you go through that proper lineage. Okay, now, and as I mentioned, how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually left from this world. He did not leave any body. We don't have any body here of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in fact, there is one big history also when I told about Tota Gopinath, this deity in which he merged, he just jumped in. He was like, as I was mentioning about one incident, there was another incident where he was running again on the sand dune, on the shore of Jagannath Puri. When you guys actually come, and then I can show all the places where all these things happened. And he all of a sudden was digging like mad, digging, and then he pulled a vigraha, and that vigraha is that Tota Gopinath, what you are seeing on this picture, which is there now in Tota Gopinath temple in Jagannath Puri. And when he was 48 years old, that time, whatever that he wanted to accomplish, whatever he wanted to really do, everything was done. And he wanted to go back because he was in a very pathetic situation. He was saying, I don't want to be here. I want to go back, like a pure devotee feel. And he was in that. He was desperate. And around that time was this particular thing that I was talking about happened, and the Upadesamrta came. Okay, so that is why I was really bringing all these things again. Okay, so when he was 48 years old, he could not bear the separation from the Lord. Who was that actually? What was the mood he was in? Radharani. So it was as Radharani is feeling the separation. Radharani is actually feeling separation. Nindadi Chandana. See, there is a big thing, nice, so bhajan by our Goswami, Gita Govindam. So now so like that, he was always out of in separation, and that separation now was manifesting more and more from Radharani's mood point of view, and he could not bear. That is why when he was in the middle and he got so ecstatic, and he said, "Oh Krishna!" See, look at here. He's running into the deity of Krishna. Why? That's Radharani. He just runs towards Tota Gopinath deity, and boom, disappeared. Finished. There is no body, there is nothing. And immediately after that, Mahaprabhu disappeared, and then immediately after that, they noticed a sound and a crack in the thigh part of the deity. It is still there, but if you happen to talk to the priest or something, then maybe we may be able to see. But it is there. There is a crack. That happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into Tota Gopinath deity. Anyhow, it was in the Jagannath Puri ocean. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt these kind of divine ecstasy many, many times. So when he came out of Lord Krishna's pastimes, he wanted to sit and he was thinking about not the devotees, the people, the common people who wants to live in this world forever. Some instructions. Those devotees do not want, do not need this instruction that I am going to be covering in this class as Upadesamrta, which Rupa Goswami wrote. No, this is not for those devotees. So he wanted to say this so that, because he was out of mercy, so much mercy was flowing. That is why his Lord, look at here, his mercy is flowing. And he called everybody here. I am going to now teach something which is going to be used for the worldly people, the world, everybody. Of course, you can also hear, so it's for everybody. And how to start from the beginning by controlling our senses. Our senses is really so horrible. And how by controlling our senses, how can we go to the next step? Then after that, next sloka he says, what are the different things that we have to do to really go high? And what are the things that we should be avoiding? And what is the reality? What are the truths? Like that, we go up and up and up, like that. And until we find the last sloka about Radha Kunda being the highest of all the worlds, all the worlds. Okay, so it starts with ordinary person who wants to be in Krishna consciousness, and then how by following these things, how he can elevate himself one by one and slowly, and then finally come and reach the highest bhava, which can be bestowed only by Radha Kunda. Isn't it? That is how it goes there. It's all different steps. Okay, Upadesamrta is, yes, it is Amrit. Why it is Amrit? It has to be heard properly. It has to be understood properly. It has to be followed properly. And if we do that, then yes, it is really Amritam. Amritam. Yes. Whoever present at that time came closer to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They sat on the shore of the ocean. As actually what you really see in this picture is all the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am just showing for an example. And not everybody was actually there on the shore, of course. And if you see on the top, we see that there are, who are all there? The Panchatattva. In the right, in the center is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And to his right side is Nityananda Prabhu. And then to the again rightmost is Advaita Acharya. And to his left side is Nityananda Prabhu. And, he is Gadadhar Pandit. And then his leftmost is Narada Muni, Gadadhar and Srivasadi. So, like that, and then they have their own way that they really take part in the roles of giving this Krishna consciousness to the rest of the world. So this is how they did. Anyway, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called all of them and he was giving the instructions. And these are actually very exalted. And again, as I said, it was not for those who were there hearing. It is actually meant for those neophyte devotees, new devotees especially, to start from and then go up. In fact, any devotee, they will be having anarthas. Anarthas means unwanted things. What is unnecessary, unwanted things? Because unless we remove the anartha, we cannot go to the high stage, which we have covered that in another class actually, right? So these anarthas, what are those? Greed, lust, anger, and so many possessions that we really want to have. These are all anarthas. So how we can actually slowly become detached from all these things? These are all about this. That's all in the Upadesamrta, nectar of instructions. Sri Rupa Goswami was the Manobishtam of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I told you. What do you mean by Manobishtam? Manobishtam means there are two meanings. Mano Abhishtam. So Manobishtam means he is the one who is really so dear to the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then another meaning is also he understands anytime Chaitanya Mahaprabhu what he wants, what he is thinking about, what his mind is going about, everything he will be able to understand. So that is Sri Rupa Goswami. And he is the foremost acharyas in our parampara. So these 11 verses that we are going to be covering, starting from next week onwards, are very important. What I will do is, I will try to bring this from various other illuminations also, because there are so many commentaries and illuminations given by our acharyas. So nectar of instructions by Srila Prabhupada, then Sri Upadesamrta by our Gurudev, Srila Gurudev, and also another one again, Sri Upadesamrta by Bhakti Rakshaka, Sridhara Deva Maharaj. So he's the one. So his song is the one who we really sing that every day evening. Sujana Arbudara. That was by him only. He also has given illumination on Upadesamrita. Then also there is one given by Sri Radha Ramanadasa. Who is this Radha Ramanadasa? He is the one who is actually taking care of the Radha Raman deity in Vrindavan. With those who really joined us in Vrindavan, you all may remember we really saw the Radha Raman deities. So he's the one who is his lineage is the one who is maintaining that temple, and he also wrote a commentary about Upadesamrita. Then Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur had also given actually a nice commentary, and then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura also gave a commentary. So basically, I am not going to take just from one book, but we are actually, as much I can, by the mercy of Gurudev, I will try to take something and try to give it to you in a simple manner. Okay, so this is the idea. So idea is, because we also need to include those devotees from Kanyakumari temple as well. They are actually, English is not their strength. So that is the reason I am talking in simple English with pictures and everything. So I want all those who have been initiated, please try to attend this regularly. And these slokas which are actually going to come, all the 11 slokas, I want all those who have taken initiation, memorize by heart. Because that was how that we will bring and share and bring our life to success. And all this will come into picture when we really memorize all those. Because our Gurudev says, if you have not memorized at least 1200 slokas, you are not my disciple. Yeah, he has said that. So how many slokas you know by heart? It's up to you to judge yourself. So the instructions actually came from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So for the end of introduction to this great scripture, let us all glorify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first for his causeless mercy on us. And I would like to call Madan Mohini Devi Dasi to really sing this bhajan for us. concludes our program for today. And next week we will be actually starting from the verse number 1. So this verse number 1 is so intricate. In fact, I think this was something that I also wanted to. I was really trying to cover this Upadesamrta in Kanyakumari temple in Tamil, but of course, very, very few actually were there that time. But now, it's really going to be recorded and then also going to be broadcasted. But anyway, so how that actually comes is, it's very, very complex slokas, and the very first sloka is about controlling our senses. That is the very first step for pure devotion. Without, if you really, allow your mind to really wander here and there, run here and there, then we are not going to get anything, any real benefit out of our Krishna consciousness. So this is very important, and I will try to put a tune as far as possible to make your life of what memorizing easier. Vacha Vega means we have to first stop the urge to talk nonsense. Okay, that means you have to be talking only about Krishna. That is how it really starts. Okay, so Vacho Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam Jigva Vegam Udarapastha Vegam Yetan Veganyo Vishaheta Diraha Sarvamapimam Prithvim Sasishyat. So if one can control all his senses, he will become the guru for the entire world. That's what he is saying. So that is how first it's put in. So it is beautiful, very nice. Okay. So a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak nonsense and the mind's demands, because we really go by our mind, right? Mind says, hey, go there, do this, do that. Oh yeah, hear this one, wonderful. But this is what the mind. So we are actually dasa. Dasa of what? Our body, our senses. Senses called, there is another thing called go. Okay, go means senses. So our acharyas are called go swamis. Swami means one who has control on it. So go means senses and Swami means who has control. So go Swami means those who have complete control about their senses. That's what go Swami is. But what normally people is? Go, not Swamis. Go dasas. What is go dasa means? Servant of the senses. Dasa means servant. So go dasa. So we do not want to become go dasa. We want to become go Swami. Then only whatever that I was talking about today, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was really showing us how a pure devotee should be, then that will happen. This is a very important scripture that we are actually going through. So be with me, and by Gurudev's mercy, I beg his mercy to really make this so that everybody can understand this great scripture. It's a very small book. If you see that there is this one like that, and also there is one here, right? And then also there is one Upadesamrta, and there is another one lying there like that. I have several of them. So okay, from all these, I'm going to really bring those, and I will give you to the very, very easy for you to understand. That is only Gurudev's mercy can help. Okay. Vanja kalpa taripchacha kripa sindupyevacha paditanam pavanepyo vaishnavepyo namo namaha.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna